If you own a heating and air conditioning company and you want to know the hard truth from an HVAC sales expert when it comes to coaching and training, what is it and why does it matter? This is a fantastic question. I'm Scott Sylvan Bell, coming to you live from the Big Island of Hawaii. I'm in Kona on a perfect day to talk about sales and business and a fantastic day to talk about you for HVAC technicians sales secrets. This video is powered by sellingtechnicians.com. So here is what happens. At the end of January, beginning of February, I start getting phone calls, text messages, people start reaching out, owners start reaching out and saying, hey, Scott, the shoulder season's coming up and, I'm worried about my conversion rates because the cost of marketing has gone through the roof. And every time the guys don't close deals, the marketing cost just keeps going up and I want better conversions. And then I'll say, hey, give me an idea of what you've been doing in the past and how that's worked for you. And they go, well, we kind of get together occasionally. We kind of do this, and it's very squishy words, kind of, maybe, possibly, this is kind of how we get things done. The problem with that is it's not consistent. Here's a hard truth. You need a consistent process for your team. So if you've got maintenance techs, they need a training. If you've got turnover techs, they need a training. And usually those are two separate trainings, if at all possible. And the reason for this is there are different stages in their career. And I will share with you that after a while, technicians get bored of seeing the door approach, even though it is very important. It's the first impression of a call. Technicians get bored with maintenance programs, even though they're the bread and butter of the business for, monthly recurring revenue and for keeping them busy during the shoulder season. And it's unfortunate that, a lot of salespeople don't even want to role play, period. So you really want to put something in place. You want to have this consistent, here's what we're going to do. Yes, it's going to cost you money, or it's an investment depending upon which way you look at it. So, here is what I typically hear. Hey, Scott, if I train my guys, they're going to leave and go somewhere else. Okay, that is true. That can happen. I trained a lot of technicians that went to other companies and did very well. But the core group of guys that I worked with stuck around, and the other people went and did okay wherever they were, but they really weren't on your team to begin with. They weren't, okay? So here is the second hard truth. If somebody says, hey, I'm willing to coach and train your salespeople one time and you're going to have maximum lift, you'll probably get 35, 45 days out of that training if that's like a 2-day event. Right? It might be enough to get you a lift, but the reality is this: you can't do that in a gym. You can't go to a gym and say, I'm just going to work out once. There's a lot of effort that goes into place with having conversations and role plays and corrections. And what you're going to find is there's a bell curve of learning. There is, you grow and you get to about here and then you drop a bit. And then you grow, and then you get to here, and you drop a bit. And then you grow. It's not the hockey stick. There are ups and downs. There are problems. There's our processes, and this is why it's got to be consistent. Big events, like big games, big things that happen in your town or city start pulling away distractions or making distractions for your team. And what you're going to find is they need somebody to be there. They need a manager. They need an owner. They need somebody to come in and have those conversations and hold them accountable and say, hey, what's going on with your numbers? Right? Or good job. You did really good this week. So one of the mistakes that I see going into businesses and working with companies is they'll negatively incentivize people who are not doing good. And then they won't pat the people on the back who are doing good. Right? It's just like, hey, you're not hitting your numbers. You're not hitting your numbers. It may be a tough market. There may be things that are going on, right? If I go somewhere and I'm constantly being screamed and yelled at, I don't want any part of that. Hard truth number 3, sometimes you have to pay. There's times where you can do it. There's times where your sales manager can do it. Or there's times where you bring somebody in. And the people who are really good at what they do are going to charge you for it. They're going to say, hey, here's what it's going to take. I will share with you right now. Sometimes people choke when they're like, hey, what are your fees for your service? And I tell them, and they're like, why? Come on, Scott, why? I'm like, okay, so at the time, last year, I had 3,300 YouTube videos. Right now, I got 3,700. I've got 3,700 YouTube videos. I was a corporate sales trainer for 10 years. Wrote the biggest book on sales scripting. It's 550 pages. It's called The Perfect Answer, 101 sales scripts and word tracks to close deals. In the industry and in the services, I'm not incoherent with the knowledge, the skills, the talents. And then here's the other thing. I've got the business chops. I was inside of a company that started at 2 million when I got there. And by the time that I left, it was right at 50 million, and they sold for a significant sum. I built the training program for them. 6 months after I left, they sold. So that training program was in place after I left. It built the backbone of that company. So I've been around, I've seen it. If you want to talk about what it takes to work with your team, you can call me or text me 808-364-9906, 808-364-9906. I'll put it down here or up here. And, just so you know, I don't always answer that phone. I look at it 4 times a day. So that's my business line. Call me or text me, 808-364-9906. We could talk about what it takes to work with your team. If you're like, hey, Scott, I want to see what you do first, and let's do a trial run, and we'll pay for you'll pay for the gig. Cool. No problem. Let's try that. But I'm going to tell you that the next conversation is we should get you on a plan, right? I have no problem saying the end goal is to get you on a plan. If we can work together, if your team is responsive. Can't make any promises. There are none in life. But if you want some help, 808-364-9906. Looking forward to connecting with you. We'll see you soon. Aloha and mahalo.